My name is Greg Drake. I work with CBS Los Angeles here in LA. And it is my honor to be here in front of you today for the 10th anniversary of John Wick. So this really got me to thinking about 2014 and how before October 24th, none of us had yet been introduced to Helen, to the puppies, to the Mustang or the Continental, or to Winston or Sharon, or John Wick himself. And that's almost impossible to imagine, because we've been on such a journey since then, am I right? Yeah. And really what we want to do today is honor that with this celebration by asking the people themselves all of the questions you're dying to know about John Wick. So please put your hands together as though you are giving them all the gold coins you can for Chad Stahelski, our director. Producer, Erica Lee. Our manager, Winston, Mr. Ian McShane. And finally, John Wick himself, Keanu Reeves. Yeah.
Hi, good evening. Thanks for being here.
All right, so to kick off, Erica, I just want to ask you, is there a character in the John Wick movies that you always really related to or always wanted to be or step into their shoes for a second?
That's a good question. There's so many characters over so many movies. I think I love the character of Sophia that Halle Berry plays.
Yes.
And just always, knew Wick back in the day. Is a mom like me, lives in, Morocco, exotic hotel. So I think there's something interesting there.
And her all of Halle Berry's work with the Malinois dogs. I didn't know the breed before the movies, but it really made me take notice too. She was amazing with them. I'll never forget it.
Yeah, she trained for months. I mean, Chad, picked those dogs because they're specific and they can learn. And they're so smart, and we had 4. And we brought them all the way to Morocco. I mean,
That's amazing.
they're
And
amazing.
and they say, you're doing a lot of the things with these movies that people wouldn't take on necessarily. This is obviously incredibly complicated, beautiful stunts. Animals as well. Was there something from John Wick that you wanted to do but had to wait until later? Because I know there were tons of ideas that you were able to do as the series developed. Yeah, tell me what you were really excited about being able to include later.
I think just the set pieces, the travel. We've always wanted to do really big vehicular stuff. Cam was an excellent driver. So to show that off, it just took a little bit of time to get the budget and time to do it. So hopefully we pulled that off in John Wick 4.
And then by the time that 4 rolled around, wasn't the technology such that you could actually put pads out that were easily erased?
Sometimes. Our stunt guys are very good, yeah.
God, I still can't fathom how especially the Arc de Triomphe, that entire sequence really worked. And am I correct in remembering that there were your stunt people getting hit by the cars that were driving 15 miles an hour?
Yeah, we do about 15 to 20 to do the targets.
Jeez.
Because we want pads and stuff. And then, just got to do all the driving with all the guys running through and their drone. And it just takes a lot of rehearsal, a lot of precision, a lot of timing.
Yeah, a little bit. Keanu, of all of the incredible locations in this series, which one sticks out to you the most, or that you feel fondest about?
New York City.
Yes.
Then Rome.
Yes.
How did shooting in Manhattan, you guys spent a lot of money on that movie in the beginning to shoot in Manhattan. How did that work? Did you actually have the budget to block things off, etc.? You're Keanu Reeves in Manhattan, right?
Yeah, no one really cared, man. We just came out trying to make a movie.
10 years ago.
First movie?
Yeah.
Well, they promised, they said, there's no money, but we promise you a wonderful Thanksgiving in a great hotel in New York.
That's how we got
The script was,
here.
remember that?
Yeah, so like, there's no money to pay you, but we'll put you up in a suite, and bring your wife, and you'll have as much room service.
And your own
as you want. She
costume.
was like, okay.
That's how we got most of the cast.
Ian, is there a moment from any of these films that really stands out to you in your memory? Because Winston has great.
I think, looking back on it now, I mean, apart from my relationship with Chad and Keanu, I think the moment with me and Lance, because he's no longer with us. I mean, I think sorry, Lance Reddy, the great Lance Reddy. If we ever do another one, I will miss dreadfully, but we have Ballerina coming out in which we for the last time, we have that together. But yeah, I thought we made a really good double act, as we say, in a sense, and it was great, his relationship, because you never knew that his relationship was different to mine with Keanu's character. But yeah, my moments with him, I think I'll remember. Except when I shot him, of course. When he said, you shot him, I said, no, I deliberately, because, it's such a great shot, as Winston, he deliberately shot him in the shoulder, or whatever, and then you crunched 75 stories to the ground and landed on top of a garbage truck.
That's right, sir.
I disappeared.
That's what I do. That's what John Wick does. He falls and he gets up.
He always gets up.
Until the end. When none of us really get up. But anyway.
I still hold out hope as a fan that he might get up again. Just saying. Yeah, that's what's kind of wild about John Wick is that this is not just an action-packed movie. There's real heart to this movie, and I think that's why that one of the many reasons this universe has expanded so much. Chad, is that kind of what you had attached to when you got the script and then lobbied to direct?
Actually, Keanu asked me to do it.
Yeah.
So he was the genius behind it. I know the script was pretty simple. I mean, I think being the new director and Keanu helped us through with Ian and Willem Dafoe and Lance. I think at first we were just happy we got through it. We didn't mess it up too bad. It was really like that John Wick 2 when we came back. The studio was cool enough and all you guys were getting up to ask for development. That we sat down with Keanu and everybody and we tried to figure out, there's a continental in every city, and we realized what we could do with it, and that's kind of where we fill up the whiteboard with every wish fulfillment. Every director and cast member wanted to do in the movie, and that's what we tried to make.
And Ian, as far as development goes, I've heard that you and Lance sort of created backstories for your characters. Is that the case?
Backstory?
Yeah, like kind of filled out your character a little bit.
Oh yeah. Well, I have my own idea about what it is, but I'm not going to tell you.
Oh, really?
No, I can't. Otherwise, it'll give away John Wick World. No, all I can tell you is that whenever there's a new one, I mean, I never say. I don't have any discussions about where my character should be. It is what it is. I love the enigmaticism of the whole show, of the whole relationship between me and Keanu, is you don't know who he is. You know who. Maybe that will be revealed later. But no, if I invented a backstory, I would say that he and Lance, my character and Lance's character, go back, and somewhere along the way, they got involved with this organization, the High Table, and I think I've known John forever. But that's all I'm going to say. My relationship with him will remain stumm.
Do you have any relationship to the series? Because this universe just keeps expanding and keeps expanding. Speaking of having known John for a long time.
I'm saying no more.
That's fair, we got it. Keanu, would you say that your relationship to John has changed at all over the course of these films?
My relationship to John. I think as the stories have evolved and the different characters, I think most of the themes were launched for me with the character in the first film. The friendship, the honor, the kind of seeking his own kind of independence in a way. So in terms of developing, just more of a good thing.
Yeah, and I think that's what we got for sure. Like, and we want more. Erica, do you think that the phenomenon of John Wick has changed what studios want to make and what audiences want to see?
I mean, I think everyone, John Wick is such a phenomenon, a franchise, 4 movies and spin-offs that continue to do better and are reviewed, each one better than the next, the box office, doubles, triples, so it's a phenomenon. I think every studio wants their John Wick, and I'm continually asked, do you have another John Wick? Bring me another John Wick. What is your formula? What is the magic? And it's unquantifiable. I'm sure you get this question all the time, Chad, too. And so, I mean, look, we changed the game on how action movies were made and how are pitched and how are received, and I think, made the bar really high for other films in the genre. So it's really cool what we've accomplished.
If I may say, I just think it's lucky with that cast to direct all 4 of them. I mean, I think he wouldn't have done them without them. So I think the continuity of Erica, Chad, Keanu, and the rest of the cast, me and Lance, adds to that. And the fact that we all, pretty reasonable human beings and get on well, and
It's
don't.
it's rarefied air to have the same group do 4 movies, and it's always fun to get the band back together, and we know that.
And lightning in a bottle too. This is special. I mean, and that's why audiences keep responding to it. And it is so much more nuanced than just a story about a lot of badasses, Speaking of things that, Erica was kind of talking about revolutionizing action movies, Chad, can you, rather than from the angle of tooting your own horn, I get the sense that that's not really the way to ask this question, but rather, what is something you're really proud of that your team has come up with, and part of the reason that these movies look as incredible as they do?
I think that's my casting crew to have somebody that can do the action. That's Keanu. It's our Jackie Chan or Jet Li, some of the greats that have done it. I don't think it's really us so much as the way our collective filter everything through. I mean, if you look at what we love about action movies, from the old westerns to Zangief to Kurosawa to Sergio Leone to the French samurai film, The Samurai, or any of the great thrillers and wuxia films that we love from Hong Kong or Korea or Japan. We kind of took it all and kind of spit it back out in our version of it, but I think, loosely put, I think, we did a pretty good job of ripping off everybody else and putting it back out with what we see with pretty lighting and interesting themes, or at least what interested us. So I think we're all looking forward to see who rips us off and goes forward with that, so maybe we can rip them off again in the future. We just want to keep the machine going.
Ripping off, homage, hey listen, it's all semantics, right? Is there a piece of tech that you love?
No, I'm pretty, we went to the human factor to see how far you can push humans. Yeah, we have good humans to push. Yeah, dogs are good too.
Dogs and humans. Keanu, how far were you pushed in your numerous, plentiful, intense preparation to be the original badass John Wick? Look at Ian leaning in, he's like, I want to know.
No, I'll feel asleep.
He just had shoulder surgery, so Ian's recovering.
Badass till the end.
Yeah,
He's not even in a sling.
That's a badass.
He pushes the envelope all the time. Thinking actors that we do another one, and it's raining for the 7th day in a row outside Africa, and you're standing there, whatever, and you go, Keanu's doing it, well, here we are.
Guess we're going out there.
Here we go again. Fine. Just one more. This one. Just a little bit more. That's good. I mean, that's the thing. You do, it's a privilege. It's a gift, as I said, to be in a movie like this, which each time, I know when the lead up and when they've been doing the scripts, they probably killed off every character except John. So when I get the phone call saying, there's another one on the way, you go, oh, it's nice. Hope we're in it. But you never know, which is also a good thing.
Keanu, do we want to go back to that question?
Oh,
Like, what was the thing where you were like, man, I really got to stretch myself to do this, because you're no stranger to action and all that, and have that skill set.
you know, it's a gift. Every day's a gift that you get to, I'll just say every day. I had so many wonderful teachers and guidance and worked with so many talented actors, actresses, and stunt people in the sense of, you know, it's such a dance and collaboration and cooperation. So, you know, there's a couple times where you throw up or puke or whatever, but, you know, that's what makes it good.
And nobody's ever looked at a pencil the same way again, right?
You shouldn't.
Oh.
Because they work.
I'm not going to school again.
Was this was it a real pencil? Was it a pencil on the set, or was that added in?
Oh, when I drove it to his skull through his eyeball? No, that was fake. I'm sorry, that was cheeky. No, in general, we didn't, I might have grabbed a real pencil and some of this stuff, but if there was ever going to be contact, it would be in a real pencil. Because they work.
No stumping died. No pencils. All pencils were used for writing on the set. Erica, speaking of the set, when you would visit set, assuming that that happened, what was the environment like? Because obviously doing stunts very serious. However, that familial aspect of this movie, did that ever shine through when you visited?
Yeah, I mean, we've all like lived on these movies, and I think it's always, look, Chad pushes everyone really hard, and we do, like John Wick 4, for example, was a 100-day shoot, all nights, like night shoots, and so, you know, when you're on day,
There were some days, guys. No, they were shooting, they had like times a
that was
day.
a Don.
Yeah,
They stayed up all night
horses.
for the sun to come up. I think,
Okay, there's that.
So, of course, I mean, they're high stress environments, everyone is tired and working really hard, but,
She's doing a good job.
yeah, Chad breaks
Selling it.
everyone. No, I mean, look, especially by the fourth one, everyone knows what they're to expect, right? Like, you know you're gonna train for months before, and you're gonna ice bath at night, and you're gonna walk off that set, or you're gonna
Absolutely
crawl off that
miserable
set.
time.
Yeah, I mean, everyone it is gnarly, but you know, in darkness there's greatness, right? Isn't that your quote or one of those? It's like you push everyone to the breaking point, and that's where the beauty exists, right? And
So it was a positive experience.
I mean, making any movie is fun and hard and arduous and crazy and amazing. And I think, you know, John Wick 1 was probably harder than John Wick 4 to some degree because we had no money and no money. That for you? Yeah, there was a lot shorter, it was half the shoot. So I think over the 10 years we've had, like, you know, we are like a family, and it is fun, and we fight, and it's all good.
I love that smile on your face, Chad.
The hard is what makes it great. That's
If I can interject just quickly, it was just really special for me to, over the course of the films, as they, you know, everyone here helped make them successful and helped us get to make another one. Just seeing other action teams all over the world just be so excited to work on a John Wick film, you know, and to go through that. And also other thespians, you know, it was cool to be in the gym one day and Lawrence Fishburne's like, hey, Geeky. I'm like, what? You doing John Wick? I'm like, yeah. He's like, let's go. And I'm saying, yeah, now let's go. And so the Bowery King was born. So it was just cool to see, you know, the affection that so many artists and craftspeople and stunt performers, artists, had for the films, you know, and wanted to go through a John Wick experience.
And it speaks to the universality of film in general, right? It's like it's an effort of so many people, and the enthusiasm of everyone all over the world really shows up. I mean, of course, with the stars of their cast, but I mean, the talent. It's hard. It's almost hard to watch these movies numerous times and not just be in awe of everyone and their skill set, and also the awe of people who are like standing even near all of this happening. It's like, wow. I don't even know how you're in the same room sometimes. It's incredible. Chad, there is a way that people can get even more of this magic about John Wick, yeah? I understand there's something else.
Yeah, we have a few things coming up, some surprises, some not. We have a documentary coming out about the making of all the John Wicks. We get to see the real side.
Excellent. Embarrassing, but I mean, you know, emotional pain. Yeah, you know. So we want to get this movie all fired up for you. There's only one thing left that we need to do before then.
Oh yeah, so there's a film that was kind of trying to expand some of the, I don't know, what do they call it, the John Wick
Universe?
world. They picked Universe? Yeah, Universe.
Do you want to call it the Wickiverse?
John Wick presents, anyway, there's a film called Ballerina. That is really exciting. John Wick makes a brief appearance in it, so it was kind of cool that was probably the last time I ever played the character, maybe. But it was, I think they have some footage here of some of the making of, right? And hopefully you enjoy that, and hopefully you enjoy watching John Wick on a big screen.
So, before we get that fired up, I just want to remind you, outside we have a John Wick step and repeat. Please feel free to take all of your best, very safe stunt photos. Tag on social, post, make sure you take note of all that info up here, and please, once again, your gold coin thank you for Ian McShane, Keanu Reeves, Erica Lee, and Chad Stahelski. My name is Greg Drake, and I am sorry about the people puppy problem.
It's really cool. It's really great that the film is having the opportunity to be seen on the big screen where it was made for. Being 10 years, time flies when you're having fun, and the whole John Wick, the first John Wick changed my life, and the whole series, it's been just such an amazing experience to be a part of these films. Yeah, I mean, early days, talking with Chad and Dave, the directors of John Wick, just really excited to be able to create what we had in our heads, like the vision for the film, and we love the script and the character and the world so much, and just everyone's enthusiasm to get a chance to create and work together. Yeah, it's such a lovely performance, and working with Anna, it was, I've worked with her before, and so we had a really great working shorthand and trust, and she's lovely in the film, and you know, the way that she does John Wick action is inspiring. I hope so. Yeah, I hope so. I mean, a lot of attention and care went into kind of its curation to be organically part of the world, and I thought they achieved that very successfully.
It was a good script. It was always a good script, and I figured if it came together, the cast they had, it would work out. And I remember I was filming a year later in Atlanta, and the film was opening that Friday, and I got the driver to drop me off, and I went because I was filming in the afternoon. So I saw the first hour, and I thought, oh no, we're okay here. I mean, I can and I can't. Everybody's got an opinion about who Winston is with regard to Jonathan, John, whatever I call them. I mean, we've got Ballerina coming out next year, which takes place in between 3 and 4. Winston's in a gift for an actor like in a franchise that got better and better because of Chad, mainly. I mean, I think it's wonderful that he's done all 4 of them, so he knows the story, knows the world. And Keanu's a great guy, and, you know, we usually get great people in the movies, you know, and it's been a pleasure to do. I won't say more of the same because it can't be the same, but it'll be, we hope, as exciting and thrilling and another addition to the John Wick world. You know, Anna was lovely to work with.
A surprise, really lucky. I mean, it's been a really good 10 years for us. It's, every director's career, dream career to work with somebody as good as Keanu and the cast and crew that we have, and to have a product that people actually like and want more of. So, I don't know, it's pretty cool. Keanu always wanted to make a movie that, and with Dave at the time, our co-director, who couldn't be here tonight, but we just want to make a movie that we wanted to see in theaters. Just a fun action movie that had a little bit of surrealism to it, something that, that people would get behind, and something that you could experience with a crowd. When you do see the movie, it was just another avenue to introduce an audience to the Rusko Roma, to the high table, to the mechanisms of the kind of world that we've tried to create through John Wick. And I think it fills in little pieces that people might have questioned during the first 2 or 3 John Wicks, but it's also given a different perspective on some of the thematics that we use throughout the films. It's always interesting when you write down themes and ideas and then you see the person for the first time come on a set in the wardrobe. And really it was, when they started shooting over in Europe, when you saw her come out and actually go through one of the action sequences, and she has to throw a somewhat surprised, but I found very comedic line, and you're like, okay, she gets the tone, this is going to be it.
It's so cool. It's such a testament to the movie, and how far we've come 10 years later. That the fact that people and audiences still are so excited about this film and about seeing Keanu and the world that we've created is just it's so amazing, and I don't take it for granted. John Wick 1 kind of was under the radar. A lot of people found it in its afterlife, in DVD and on demand. So I think a lot of people probably didn't see it in the theaters, which is really exciting. And then, look, we strive really hard to make the movies a cinematic experience. We go bigger and bolder with each film and exotic locations and really push the envelope with the action. So I think we always hope and dream of everyone watching them in the theaters, especially we spend so much time even with the sound and all the technical specifics of the craft. So it's so great for people to see it on the big screen. It's been a decade. I've learned everything pretty much about my job over 10 years. Chad has taught me that to always push yourself harder. He pushes me really hard. He never wants to hear no. And so we strive for greatness, and I think that you never take the no. You push through it. You push harder. Anna has been such an amazing addition to the John Wick universe. I think, what's interesting of the character of Eve is that she's really trying to get in and try to figure out what happened in her past, and is sort of searching, and that's what drives her. Whereas John Wick is a different kind of character. He is trying to get out, right? He's always he's sort of running from it. So there are very different ways into the world. What's cool about Ballerina is that we have a really interesting setting. I think Anna has done an amazing job training, and I think it's really cool as a woman to see kind of the assassin point of view from a female perspective, and how she fights and how she acts and how she relates to others is very different than how John Wick does it. So I'm most excited about that.